Happy Friday everyone! Here we are again to listen to another album from the artist Years and Years. This one is called Palo Santo? Palo Santo. Palo Santo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Please someone tell me if I am. Palo Santo. Palo Santo. I don't know. So Years and Years are a band that I've kind of followed, but not extremely closely over the last few years. But they really caught my attention with their single Sanctify, which happens to be track number 1 on the album. And since then I've been paying a lot more close attention and I've been really excited to hear the rest of the album. I think that was a really unique, cool pop song. So without further ado, let's get stuck into the album and see what little gems are on there. Let's do it! I love this kind of tribal sound that they've got in this song. And those backing vocals, they're almost chant-like. It's very minimal, instrumentation-wise. Such interesting chords and melody here. And I love that it just goes straight into the chorus. There isn't any messing around. There's no waiting around in the verse. We are there. That's my favourite bit. You know people are going to be singing that at festivals. There's a really cool reverb that he's got going on underneath his vocal at this point. It almost follows behind him. It's like a tail reverb. So don't break. His voice sounds super nice on these high notes as well. Lovely chord changes here with the bass line underneath. They've layered up his lead vocal as well, so it has a kind of power, but also it continues this chant-like feel in the song. I love that as well. And all the layers going on here. You've got the ad-lib, the backing vocals, the lead vocal, and all the double tracking, the layers of the same vocal underneath the lead. Great song. Love that. I love it. This is number 2. It's called Hallelujah. That's quite a hard-hitting drum sound with the bass, really bringing up the momentum. Great rhythmic melody here. Oh, I love this. It kind of has elements of disco in it. This is, again, building up to this. I need to listen to this without commentary for a second. This is so well produced. There's so much that I want to talk about that I can't even talk about any of it because there's just so much. Can you hear all the kind of clicking sounds in the background here? Some really interesting layers of synths that they're building into the chorus. I love that. Ooh. It's cool that technically the pre-chorus is actually the chorus vocal, but because they bring the drums in this section, suddenly the melody that was introduced before becomes even more catchy. Somebody like you, somebody like... And it's all on that one note. Kind of Taylor Swift style there. It's great that they've just let everything go because you know it's going to shoot back up. Here we go. Great. His voice sounds so good here. Wow, 2 really strong tracks to start this album with. This is called All For You. Was it all a different scene? All the demons instead? I love that rhythm is so good. interesting that they've taken that lead vocal line and then just turned it into woo in the post-chorus there. I'm a big fan of the synth sound that they've used underneath everything. Just adds a nice layer to the music. Nice delay. See, for this song, I feel like he knows that this relationship is over, and he's just kind of working through the feelings of not only his perspective, but his partner's perspective as well. There's a sort of harpsichordy sounding synth doing those block chords during that chorus as well. Really like that melody. Do it again. This reminds me of another song. I don't know what it is. If you have any ideas, tell me in the comments box below. Oh, I kind of wanted that wall of just his voice to continue for a little longer without any more instrumentation. There you can hear that kind of harpsichordy synth. I don't know, that's the closest thing I can kind of relate it to. Maybe it isn't like a harpsichord. I'm going to loco. Next is a song called Karma. Very unusual. Again, very interesting chords and very unique synth sound that they've chosen. Like that. Ooh, this is very good. Melody, rhythm, synth sounds. There's a lot of 70s influences on these songs. His voice sounds so good, particularly on this song. I love that. Mind. It's so good. It's that really tight vocal that just picks your ear up and you think, what am I listening to? Tell me what's good. That is good, I'll tell ya. Tell me what's good. And that chord change underneath there just piques your interest again. They don't let you get too comfortable in that chorus. Beautiful harmonies. Kind of like Charlie Puth harmonies in the background there. Okay, here we go. This is an understated pop song. I feel like Years and Years are a big fan of the outro. Come over. Ooh, this is Hypnotized. I had a dream of a ship that we sailed tonight. Kind of like a cathedral reverb on his voice here. Fills my mind. Lovely vocal. So now we have a piano following the main vocal. He's doing this thing that I love, which is going from a series of minor chords into a major at the end. There we go, that's that minor to major thing. So they've added another synth layer, which is kind of bassier and a bit grittier, and it just makes you feel like you've moved into the next section of the song without you even realising. It's kind of a dark song, actually. Beautiful backing vocals, kind of a call and response thing they've got going on. It's interesting because the song is called Hypnotized, and I think the overall effect of this song is to make you feel like you're in a trance, to make you feel like you've been hypnotized. And it does. It's sort of capturing something. The more that it goes on, the more you've been taken away to some other space. And those vocals sound just lovely in the background there. Yeah, that really leaves you with a feeling of something. I like it. I like the synth they're using. Again, there's so much going on in this song that I love already. Beautiful chord change. It's almost like his vocal, even though it's the lead vocal, it's kind of sitting in the mix, and the synths are kind of popping through a bit more than his vocal. I think it's the effect they put on his voice here. You can fool the world before they realise. That's a great lyric. There's a cool pulsating bass line under this song as well. Now his voice has kind of come out from behind that effect. Lovely vocal there. I love those spacey vocals, especially when you've got a busy instrumental underneath. That's the kind of song that you can listen to over and over again and still pick up something new every time that you listen to it. We know this one. If you're over me. It's like thunder, lightning, like to be this way. I love the synth that they've used here. It's such a simple sound, but yet it's so unique. As soon as the song comes on, you know what it is. And all the clapping they've got again, which seems to be a little bit of a theme in the album. Baby, if you're over me. And the premise of the song, the lyrics, is kind of a juxtaposition to the happiness of the song, because it's such a bright, happy track. But actually, it's about the end of a relationship. And there's some really nice backing vocals in this section now, giving a kind of surround sound feel to the song. It's just a great pop song, and those claps really bring the chorus to life in this section. Here we have a kind of a warmer sound that opens out with the synth line underneath. Again, we've got a kind of an outro here. It's kind of refreshing to have some outros on an album with slightly different melodies, just to kind of pique your interest again, even at the end of the song. Number 8 is Preacher. And there seems to be a bit of a theme about, you know, Sanctify, Preacher, all these kind of prayer-related songs. Continuing that theme of having a very succinct bass line and an interesting drum pattern. And this synth line is building. Beautiful chord changes, kind of gives me a Taio Cruz vibe. Do you know what I mean? That song, bigger, bigger, stronger, stronger, harder, or whatever the lyrics are. You know the one. Here they take off the reverb on his voice, so it feels a little bit more intimate, like he's having a conversation with the guy that he's obviously singing about. And now it's opened up and he's got a delay on his voice. I almost feel like there could be a bit more of a push on some of the instruments just to give it that hard-hitting feel on this song. Yeah, I like this. Very interesting effect they put on his voice, making it sound like an instrument. I mean, the voice is an instrument, but you know what I mean. I hope they start to layer up the vocals with some of the previous new melodies that they just introduced. Kind of nice jazzy, a jazzy element. That's going to be great live. Got some pizzicato strings in the background there. I love the effect they've put on, I think it's a vocal, or maybe a sampled vocal that they've used as a synth line. There's a shimmer going on there. Love the bass line. All of the elements, there's kind of this effect that they've got. so many things that were added in that chorus that just kind of lifted it. They've all dropped out, and I'm hoping they're going to build back up again from verse to chorus. They're using a brass synth to do that bassy sound. This is a very conversational song. I love the wow, wow sound they've got. Just adds another rhythmical aspect, even though it's technically a harmonic aspect. I like this melody. Interesting end. Didn't build back up at all like I thought it would. Beautiful. Lovely organ sound that they've got. Kind of a mellow organ sound. Reminds me of the chords that maybe Above and Beyond would use on one of their songs. He's not afraid to open up on these songs, is he? This has not gone where I thought it would. Oh, I love this. The momentum just changed completely. The whole vibe of the song. Palo Santo. A lot of heaven and hell references here. It's a slight rudimental kind of feel here. Just on those drums. Makes me think of rudimental. That was kind of more like a chant vocal again. They've got another pedal point there doing the beautiful reverbs on the vocal. Beautiful song, beautiful production. Love it. The final track, it's called Here. It's very short. You take away all the time that you need. You're so independent. Very delicate vocal. And we've got no instrumentation here, it's just his voice doing those backing vocals. This is a very intimate song. So he's got harmonies directly following his vocal line here. Here. This almost feels like a kind of like he was saying a little prayer. Interesting as well, it follows the direction of the album that was kind of an outro track. So as well as a lot of these songs having outros, the whole album has an outro. So that is the end of the album. And what a really interesting album that is. I think it starts with some super strong songs that are clearly singles. I mean, you just can't get away from how much those songs would impact on radio. Then it goes into this interesting instrumental exploration and the layers of everything, the production, the harmonies, the vocals. It's so unique, and you know you're listening to Years and Years. If you put any of those songs on, you just know you're listening to Years and Years. And Ollie Alexander knows how to use his voice. He really knows how to use it. He knows when to go for it and he knows when to pull it back. And that is such an important quality in a vocalist, to not over-sing on certain things. His voice sounds beautiful on this record, but let's not forget the instrumentation that's going on as well. The whole band have done just such an amazing job on this. It's just such a fantastic, unique album, and something I'm going to be listening to again and again and discovering new things every time I listen to it. So, fabulous job. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. What did you guys think? Did you enjoy this album? What's your favourite track? I think I don't know if I have a favourite track. I really like the first few in terms of just their instant ability to pull you in as a listener, but I'm going to go and have a think, and I'm going to write what my favourite tracks are in the description box below, and then tell me if you agree with me. I feel like my opinion might change in the coming weeks. We're gonna see. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications, and I will see you again very soon for another reaction review video. See you later.